Give me exactly 5 minutes. I am going to provide 30 specific methods for navigating social interactions. When applied correctly, these techniques trigger predictable responses, allowing you to direct a conversation without being detected. The human brain operates on consistent loops and shortcuts. By triggering these responses, the person in front of you simply reacts. They are unlikely to suspect that you are steering the interaction because they are following their own subconscious programming. We are moving fast. Grab a pen and paper because these 30 techniques will be delivered in rapid fire. Understanding these principles changes your position in any room. You move from reacting to the behavior of others to actively designing the social environment. Physical authority is established before you speak. Start with the pause. When someone asks you a question, hold eye contact and wait exactly 3 seconds before answering. This creates a brief tension that makes your eventual response carry more weight. Next, the forehead stare. To disrupt an insult, look at the center of their forehead, creating immediate unease. To build trust, use mirroring. Match their physical posture, then sync your breathing. The brain assumes an ally when physical rhythms sync. When moving through a crowded room, keep your eyes locked strictly on your destination rather than the people. The crowd will naturally part. Pair this with slow, relaxed movements. Moving deliberately projects a status that rushing never can. Apply that same focus to close quarters. If you want to establish an instant connection, touch their elbow for 1 second. Be the last breaking eye contact, and take up maximum physical space. Mastering your own physical baseline changes the atmosphere of an interaction. By claiming space and regulating timing, you create conditions where your words have maximum impact. To control a conversation, use their name frequently. It is the most effective way to hold a target's attention. Then, replace the words I and you with we. This creates a sense of shared purpose, even if no such teamwork exists. When someone tries to interrupt you, deploy the interrupt shield. Do not speed up or raise your volume. Maintain your exact pace and pitch. The interrupter's brain will register the failed disruption and go silent. If people aren't listening, do not shout. Drop your voice to a sudden whisper. The contrast in volume forces an inattentive audience to stop what they're doing and lean in. If hit with a difficult question, turn it back by asking them a question on the same topic. Finally, always end your interactions with positive, powerful words. The brain has a recency bias. It prioritizes the memory of the last thing it hears. Directing the emotional rhythm and pacing of a conversation allows you to steer the outcome, regardless of who is speaking the loudest. When making a request, give a slight physical nod while speaking. Their mirror neurons will prompt them to unconsciously nod along and agree. Always attach the word because to your request. The brain is conditioned to look for a reason to comply, regardless of the excuse. This chart breaks down 2 opposing strategies. The left shows the foot in the door technique. Secure a tiny yes first, paving the way for a larger yes later. The right shows the door in the face. Make a ridiculous demand they will reject. When you follow up with your real, smaller demand, they interpret it as a compromise. You can also use the Ben Franklin effect. Ask someone for a tiny favor, like borrowing a pen. Their brain rationalizes that they must like you if they are assisting you. Similarly, if you want to appeal to someone's ego, ask them for advice rather than help. These methods exploit a hardwired desire to appear consistent and helpful. By framing your requests through these specific structures, you make compliance feel like their own decision. To extract truth, use Cunningham's law. Do not ask a question. Instead, state completely false information about the situation. People have a natural urge to correct mistakes, often providing the exact truth while doing so. If you suspect a lie, feign confusion. Ask basic questions that force them to over-explain. They will often add unnecessary details and tangle their own story. To build rapport during this, confess a tiny fake flaw about yourself. People perceive those who admit flaws as honest, leading them to drop their own guard. In a negotiation, present a false choice. Give them 2 options where both outcomes benefit you. They feel in control because they make the decision, but the result is the same. Look at this phrasing. When you make a mistake, do not apologize for it. If you say, "Sorry for the delay," you invite judgment. Reframing it into gratitude by saying, "Thank you for your patience," maintains your authority. Finally, if someone gives you a terrible excuse, just stare at them in silence. The discomfort usually forces them to break and blurt out the truth. By shifting into a silent, observant posture, you strip an opponent of their leverage. They exhaust their energy defending their position, while you remain the neutral observer. Some of the most potent tools rely on absence. If you want someone to think about you later, use the incomplete sentence trick. Bring a story to its climax and then abruptly end the interaction. Their brain will keep focusing on the unresolved loop. When someone refuses to comply, use the takeaway. Pretend to step back from the deal. The sudden fear of loss forces rapid decisions. If that completely fails, it is time to execute the walkaway. Simply leave the situation entirely without showing any emotion at all. Walking away creates a vacuum. It forces the other person to evaluate what they are losing, often leading them to chase the interaction they previously resisted. You now have 30 specific methods to influence behavior and observe responses in any environment. Do not attempt to use all 30 at once. Your task today is to pick exactly one technique, the forehead stare or the 3-second pause. Take that single method into the real world and test it on your next interaction. Learning the mechanics of interaction is simple, but mastery requires repetition. Use these observations carefully and begin designing the rooms you walk into.